Welcome to the Employment Wednesday podcast with Yvonne Shabangu. Have you heard of the scripture Hosea 4 verse 6? My people perish because of the lack of knowledge. The same applies to your career. When you don't know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, you are likely to make wrong career choices. But worry not. Employment Wednesdays is here for you to offer you all the answers relating to your career and offer you strategies to develop your career. Enjoy. Hello, everyone. You are welcome to another episode of Law Without Borders. And today I've got a man. I'm sure you guys will be very proud of me because I've been criticized for always bringing women. So today we have a perspective from a man in the legal industry. He is going to take us through his journey. I am seated with Phodisho Seloga. Is it Seloga?
Seloga.
Seloga. I don't have the Limpopo accent. Seloga. He is an LLB graduate from the University of Johannesburg. He also has a postgraduate diploma in labor law and is currently doing his master's in tax law with the University of South Africa. And he is an advocate of the High Court of South Africa and a member of the Pretoria Society of Advocates. Hey, man. Some of us are just admitted attorneys of the High Court. Welcome. Thank you so much for honoring my invite. Did I miss anything in your bio?
No, thank you for having me. That was quite a short bio, to say the least. But you didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything.
We'll find out in the conversation. Maybe there is stuff that is much more interesting about you. So before I go into my conversation with Phodisho, I am going to read a review. So I'm going to start doing shout outs, guys. So you must send me those DMs. You must send me those comments, your reviews regarding the podcast, because I want to know how you feel and if it's benefiting you in any way. So the first shout out is going to be to Angela Mabona. She says, I'm a third year LLB student at the University of Pretoria. I just wanted to take this opportunity to show gratitude for the amazing work that you do with Employment Wednesdays podcast. I started watching the podcast from last year till this day. I can't really explain how the podcast has helped me and motivated me as a law student. I was one of the students who never really had passion for law and who happens to find themselves in the faculty. I had a difficult time trying to dream beyond it until I started praying about it and I started watching the podcast as well. Today, as hard as this degree is, I love it and I'm able to dream beyond as I learn also through the podcast that there's a lot of things that I can do with this degree, from hearing different stories from different guests that you invite. I just want to say I love you so much for making my life easier, and may God bless you for the amazing work that you do. This is an interesting one. Special shout out to Angel. I'm glad that the podcast is doing what it's supposed to do, because one of our biggest aim is trying to teach and educate people that the law is a diverse profession. It's not limited to being an attorney. There's so many things that you could do. Today, we are going to have a conversation regarding how you go about being an advocate and why you would want to be an advocate, right? So we're going to start with the icebreaker questions. That's where I ask the T. Barry, Wajola.
Barry, who's Barry now?
So they say, I'm joking. So one must go.
Okay.
Pirates or Liverpool?
Oh. That's actually, I wasn't expecting this, eh?
I knew that you're not going to expect that.
Because Paris is a team that I started supporting growing up. Mm-hmm. And Liverpool is a team that I gradually started loving more than Paris now. But then if I have to choose one, one has to go.
Yes, one has to go. And remember, you guys lost the past week.
No, it's not about losing. I mean, for me, it's not about losing. But winning also counts. But
yeah.
At this point, I think Paris has to go.
Really?
I mean, I wouldn't mind relocating to Liverpool.
Really?
I wouldn't mind. At this point, I think.
So you would pick Liverpool any day?
I think I'll pick Liverpool any day.
Okay, that's an interesting one. One must go. Soccer or your car?
I think I can live without my car.
Really?
Yeah, I can't live without my car.
You would take a taxi?
I can take an Uber, right? I can
Because
use
I
an
was
Uber.
about to say, I don't know if you saw this trend, right, on TikTok. It says, "So hlangane matunen."
Yeah, yeah.
And then people are posting their taxi rides and they're going through it.
Actually, I haven't been at taxi in a while, so I think the experience will be a great one for me. So I think I can.
So you'd pick soccer.
I'll pick soccer.
Okay. And then books or podcasts, and why?
Okay, like I indicated before we started, this is my first podcast ever,
Okay.
and I collect books. 'Cause
Okay.
I've got over 50 books.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
it's an
So
obvious
yes,
one. It's an
podcast
obvious
will
one.
go. Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. If you had unlimited budget, what would be your dream destination, and who would you take and why?
I would travel to Greece.
Okay, nice.
It's a beautiful country, and more chilled, calm. I think I would meet a lot of South Africans there. And at this point, I think I'll take my girlfriend.
Okay.
To answer your first question, yes, I am actually in a relationship.
So you're off the market. Anyone who tries better, we know you guys, but hey, take him. I won't take him. Okay, no, that's good. Then now we're gonna start off into your childhood, right? What did you want to be? What was your dream when you were thinking of yourself as a working adult? What did you want to be? And yeah, what was the inspiration behind that?
For me, growing up, I don't know if you are familiar with people from Limpopo.
Yes,
There's
I
a-
have friends that are from
There's
Limpopo.
certain careers that a lot of majority of people from Limpopo associate themselves with, and fortunately, I'm part of the group that can associate themselves with certain professions, being your doctor, a lawyer, engineer, accountant. But coming from a family that consists of quite a number of lawyers, law was something that was in my face.
Okay.
So it wasn't a difficult choice for me because, I mean, seeing your uncles, relatives, brother-in-laws making it in this profession, it was quite easy for me to want to be like them and look up to them. And but my second option was to become a medical doctor.
Oh, really? That's nice. Okay, so what made you decide that we're not going to go for medicine, rather law?
I think medicine for me was introduced to me by a family friend. A family friend of ours was a gynecologist.
Okay.
So he's the one who was kind of trying to motivate my
Push
mom.
the narrative.
Motivate my mom to say, "No, let this boy study medicine," you know, all of that. And I kind of,
Well, you're a smart kid, like.
no, honestly, I was not a smart kid.
Uh-huh.
I've never received awards in high school, primary, varsity. So for me, I kind of just knew what I had to do to get the job done.
Are you those people that if they say we need a requirement of 70% or 80 or 60 or 50, whatever, you get it and move on?
I get it and move on.
You're not about overachieving.
No, I've never really been one to want to excel or get the highest of everything. For me, it was just to get the job done.
Okay.
If I needed a 70 or 60 to get into something, I'll get that. So I wouldn't be crying because I got a 60 or a 50 or something. For me, if that is what it's going to get me to the next step, I'm perfectly
enough.
fine with that.
Oh my God, I feel like that's a very healthy way of looking at things, because sometimes we do get stuck up in like the competition, the high competition, because you're like, now, if Yvonne is getting a 90, I need to get a 92. So you are just cruising nicely. Like, you're just like, you know what? If for me to get into university, I need a B, I'll get my B and keep it moving and all of that.
Yeah, not necessarily to get the average kind of mark, but for me, I wasn't really motivated by being the best and by the best, being the best or anything of that nature. For me, it was basically getting the job done.
Okay.
I mean, if at that point getting an average mark was what I was getting, it's fine. But no one wants to set a standard at an average pace. You know, you always want to perform at your best level. So for me, whatever I got that would help me get to the next stage, so if that's what I needed, I will move with that.
That would be enough. No,
Yeah.
that's valid. And then, so in high school, did you play any sports? Did you participate in extramural activities?
I actually did. I started in high school.
Okay.
I played volleyball,
Oh, nice. Okay.
and then I moved from volleyball to cricket.
Oh, okay.
I played a bit of soccer, but soccer was just because soccer is soccer.
Yes, everybody plays soccer. Every
Never
boy.
played. I've not played for any team. No, my high school, nothing. I was just playing soccer with the gents,
Okay.
But then, the only time I represented my school was when I played volleyball or cricket.
Oh, okay.
And cricket was something that I deeply loved, and at some point I wanted to pursue that.
And then what killed the dream if it died? What happened? How did you just choose not to entertain it?
It's not like I chose not to entertain it. Coming from a family that consists of a parent that's a teacher,
Okay.
it's quite difficult to want to convince them that the education route is not the route you want to pursue.
Yes.
Then you want to focus on being
A cricket player.
a cricket player. So for them, and mind you, at that time, cricket was how can I put it? Looking for the right word. So it wasn't a sport for black people, to say the least.
Yes, it has always been white dominated.
So for one black person to get in, you seriously had to be the best of the best to make it. So my mother didn't approve of that, and I was like, no, I'm gonna take a gap year and pursue this. And it's like, you take a gap year, you do that, don't involve me in it. For me, I figured, okay, fine, I'll play it at university.
Okay.
Then I got to university. And now the times are clashing with practice. Because now we have class at 5 o'clock and practice starts at 4.
Oh.
So there
was misalignment, so you
so-
had to pick what's more important at the time.
and I wouldn't have chose cricket
But
because
what if you took the risk? We never know.
what if for me, I'm kind of glad where I'm at right now.
Okay.
So it's not a point where I'm regretting that I should have or I would have or could have. No, for me it's when I saw that what was happening at that time, I just figured, maybe this is what I need to focus on, because I'm not one person who likes fighting the progress. So if you want to pursue your career like this, and then something kind of stops you from that, and it's a kind of valid one for me. I had to choose between attending class or practice that might not even get you into the first team.
No, that's
So for me, I had to choose wisely, and I think I chose wisely to say.
Yeah, you
I think I chose
definitely
wisely
did.
now. If you think about it.
You say you had a conversation with your mom, right, regarding taking a gap year and trying to pursue cricket. How did that conversation go? Was it a thing of, hey, mom, because considering, again, your parent is a teacher, and gap year for teachers, I don't think, especially the old generation, I don't think it registers, especially if you have the marks and everything is in order. So how was that conversation like, and what did you end up doing during that gap year?
For me, okay, it was kind of difficult for me, but then I think the decision from my mother was quite easy for her to tell me what is it that needs to happen.
She wasn't asking you, she's not going to negotiate with you.
Because my mom is strict to say the
Okay.
least. So for me, it was a thing of, okay, I like this, I want to do this. And when you see, I think it was a time where Rabada was just starting to, find his footing into the squad. And I was like, I want to be like this guy. And then it's just like, and then now trying to convince a parent who knows nothing about cricket, not even interested, to say the least about cricket, that you want to play the sport. When they look at it, they're like,
What's going on?
what is going on here? And then she's like, I want to pursue this. And they're like, no.
It's not going to work.
For her, I think for her it was, I think what got me letting it go was the fact that my mom was like, you know what, you can still get your degree and then still go and play cricket, because this, on the other hand, if you get injured in cricket, you have something to go back to and say, okay, I've got a degree for
that's
me
smart.
to use, and then you're not gonna let this opportunity slide. And but her being strict, she kind of meant it like, don't do
Don't
this,
do it.
don't do this. Go to university and get a degree first. Whatever you do with the paper is up to you.
Okay, no, I love that. So then after you got the degree, you're just like, cricket, maybe not. Let's leave it alone.
I mean, cricket is a sport that it's like chess. You have to constantly be playing, practicing, engaging in it. But then when I got the degree, I kind of still like watching it and playing it, with the guys. It's never really a thing of, okay, I need to go back and see if I can make something out of the dream that I thought I would, pursue.
But you guys are very intense. Imagine understanding cricket. I don't even understand what happens in cricket. I just see like people passing and like I really don't. I just like the apparel, but I really don't understand how the scores work, who wins what. I'm just seeing 100 and something, and I'm just like, what happened? How did we get there? Yeah, that's fine. Then how did you decide? I mean, did you started in Limpopo, or were you already based in Joburg?
I grew up in Limpopo my whole life.
Okay, so that's very interesting. So how do you get to decide that we're going to do UJ, we're not going to go to Cape Town, we're not going to go to UP? Why UJ?
Okay, actually, I actually wanted to go to Cape Town.
Okay.
I think it was a time where strikes were starting
Yes, fees must fall, ne?
No, fees must fall. I think university strikes where they were starting to, find a footing in the university level. And then my mother was kind of worried about the fact that if you go to Cape Town and there's a strike and then you guys can't go to rest and everything, and you guys have to be chucked out of rest because of this thing of strikes. What then?
Yeah.
And then the idea of going to Cape Town for us was just like, okay, man. For UJ was kind of easy because my brother was UJ alumni, so it was an easy one for UJ for me. UP I kind of felt like everyone that I went to high school with just wanted to go to UP. So for me, I wanted something new.
Or something, a different feel.
Plus staying in Pretoria, you interact with a lot of people from Limpopo.
Okay.
So I still feel like I'm at home. So I wanted, the city lights.
Okay.
I wanted something new. I have relatives around, but Joburg is Joburg.
Yeah.
And I like Pretoria.
So you're a city boy. You love the city.
I'm tired of it now.
Okay.
I'm tired of it now. It's just going home is just more refreshing and therapeutic for me because I just sit there and relax and stay away from the fast life and everything that comes with it.
Okay, I hear you. And then now you get to university. So you had applied for LLB and medicine. Or what had you applied for?
When I was applying, medicine was actually out of the way.
You had scrapped it out.
Yeah. So when I was applying, my focus was just law.
Okay.
It was just law because the only two things that I wanted to do was just medicine or law. So my uncle kind of convinced me otherwise, and I applied for law.
Okay. So you get to university. How is it like? How was the transition? Was it smooth compared to Limpopo? Were you able to make friends? How was that whole experience?
Oh, Flipper, now I need to think. It was actually smooth, eh? It was actually smooth because all of the people that I met in my first year I still communicate with till today.
Okay.
So the transition wasn't really that bad. For me, it wasn't a hard one. And making friends wasn't a difficult thing for me to do.
Okay.
I think people say I'm a likable guy. I don't know how, but making friends wasn't really a difficult one. So the transition wasn't challenging.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a smooth one. I don't remember. Actually, the first guy that I was friends with in first year, as like my best friend in first year, still my best friend till today.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Yeah. You guys held each other through and through.
Yeah, all the tough times and all the good times, all the university experience, it was with him. And yeah, I'm still glad to still call him a friend till today.
That's nice. What is your biggest highlight of university? Say anything that you can think of, or the most traumatic experience where you were like, maybe I should go back to Limpopo.
For me, university was nice. I enjoyed myself. I was looking at the fact that I wasn't one who was focused on being the best, getting the high marks. For me, it was just
You were just cruising nicely.
I was enjoying university. We were, passing for us. It was just okay. I think for me, university got really in my final year. When I was in my final year, when people are talking about articles, okay, I already knew that I was going to my uncle's firm.
Oh, okay.
Articles, so I wasn't really worried about articles. It was the thing of whether or not I'm gonna pass. So the passing part was
It's now getting
now it's
tough.
getting real now because now you've been making it throughout and you've been having fun. I enjoyed university. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I love it.
I had
love
fun.
it.
So looking at myself now, I'd rather not disclose what type of fun I had, but I had fun.
No, I think, a bunch of us, we had a good time in university. I can appreciate that. So you mentioned that you had already known that you're possibly going to go to your uncle's firm, right? That did you do articles like the attorney route?
No, I didn't do articles.
Oh, okay. So you ended up not going to your uncle's
No,
firm.
I ended up not going there. I went straight into finance. Because a friend of mine was like, "Man, do you want to make money? Like real money?" I'm like, "Who said no to making money?" And then I went to finance and...
So when you say finance, what type of finance did you get? An internship? Did you just apply for an in-house job? How did that work?
No, my friend of mine was starting a company doing business finance, PO funding, business, all sorts of finance. And needed someone with, I can't say the brains, someone who can convince and persuade clients on why they must, invest. So for me, when I got there, it was a perfect opportunity for me because, we were one of the few people who was there when the company started, and it started really well. And I kind of forgot the purpose of why I studied law because of the money part.
Okay, so the money just took over.
So the money just took over, and later on in life, I then realized, what am I doing with my life? Because now my friends are meter attorneys, and then I'm just sitting and making the money, but I'm not actually enjoying what I'm doing.
Okay.
Because with corporate, I don't know if you're in corporate, but you know that in corporate you do the same thing
over and over again. Becomes mundane.
So I need to be. That doesn't stimulate me. I need something that can get me thinking. I need to change lives. Yes, finance, you do that, but then I need to do it in a different way.
Yeah.
Then for me, it's just the money part just kind of got me like still stuck there.
So how long were you in finance?
Until 2023.
How many years from which year?
2019, 2020.
So about 4 years?
Yes,
3,
about
4
4
years.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm interested in the part where you just wake up and realize, oh, flip, like my life, what am I doing with my life? What triggered that? Was it like a thing you kept on thinking about and ignoring it? Or something happened that made you realize that, you know what, actually, I've got a degree?
No, I mean, majority of my friends are lawyers. So when you look at the things they do, some of them are studying law firms, some of them are becoming advocates. The conversation that we have, as lawyers, we like having the same type of conversations. So for me, I've kind of felt like I'm out of place because I'm doing something else, nothing law related to what I was doing. I mean, reading contracts, doing explaining contracts and trying to make. For me, it wasn't really like.
It wasn't the law that you were looking for.
The law that I actually wanted. So I think when I started seeing my friends having a purpose, like, okay, I've got my own law firm now. I'm an advocate now. Okay, I've been retained. I'm a senior. I've applied to be a senior associate. Others were becoming senior associates, and I was just like, no, guys. Actually, this. Yeah. I like this. I like the money part of this, but then this is not what I enjoy because I can still do it part-time, but then I don't like, this is not what,
It's not
I'm
fulfilling.
not driven, because when I wake up in the morning, I'm not like, okay, I'm happy to go to work. So I think my friends, and my brother, because my brother always wanted me to be a lawyer, and my sister was just like, okay, the money part, because every time she called me, can you please give me money? I give money.
Vele will say that his
So for her,
sister's
it was like, okay, do you want to mix here? But my brother kept on pushing me that, buddy. He calls me buddy. Buddy, you need to get your articles out of the way. You need to become a lawyer. Don't forget why you studied law. And my mom was just like, okay, I said you can do anything after you get the paper. So now you have the paper. So
do anything.
I'm doing exactly that. So
then how do you then become, and how do you get to becoming an advocate as opposed to the familiar route where we all say we're going to be attorneys, we're going to start our law firms and stuff like that? What then inspired you or motivated you to make the decision to become an advocate rather?
So during my undergrad, I used to do work at my uncle's firm. So we would work with a lot of advocates, give them briefs, and I love litigating. I love litigating, and litigation is what, because you are there.
And you don't like podcasts. Double standards. Litigating podcasts.
But for me, I like being in the action,
Technicalities and all of that.
I like that, because being an attorney is nice and all, but I like to be the person who's persuading the judge on why our case is good. So during my undergrad, I got to experience the attorney and advocate, because we worked with a lot of advocates. So when I eventually decided that, you know what do I need to do now? Luckily, a friend of mine who I work with a lot now introduced me to this other advocate that finally just gave me the
push.
Yeah, the push. Say, this is maybe you need to focus on this, because I was ready to do my articles later on in life when my friends were already admitted, and I was like, what is the point of becoming admitted and then now doing a conversion to pupilage?
Yeah, it doesn't make.
Yeah, it doesn't like.
It's like a waste of time and stuff, especially if you know that you don't want to be an attorney.
Yes.
Yeah.
And having experience and seeing what my uncle, my brother-in-law, because they have their own law firms, what they go through, and I was like, okay, eventually I will want to start my own firm if I go through this route. But the idea of having people wake up in the morning to come to your office to work for you, I don't want that type of weight on my back.
You feel like it's much of a burden.
Yes, because now and those people are waking up to go work for their family, which is for me now. And at the end of the month, you can go back to the very same people and say, I don't have the money to pay you guys. So I don't want such responsibilities, because it's just too much for me. And then, luckily, as an advocate, you're an independent practitioner, and I'm the business.
Okay, you do your own thing.
So me being here right now means I'm losing money.
Wow. You guys better watch this episode so that it makes hundreds and hundreds and thousands of views so that I can go brief him.
So the idea of becoming an attorney was quite nice, because the family they were doing well for themselves, but then I didn't want such pressure and for someone who likes litigation, figure out why not
advocate,
go through this route, and
okay. So then maybe tell us about that process. What happens in order for you to actually become an advocate? You do the pupilage. What happens during pupilage and all of that?
So I thought when I started that if you want to become an advocate, you can just apply and then you get in.
That's what I thought about being an attorney. I thought you do your LLB and then you just go and be an attorney, represent people. Then I got the rude awakening in 30. I'm like, what? What are articles? People are applying in law firms? What are those? What are law firms? I thought like everyone who studies law can just go stand before the court. So, yeah.
So the advocacy route, it's a bit challenging because the bars that we have in South Africa, like for instance, the Joburg bar, I think is a bar that has a high intake of pupils a year, and the number is like around 90 or 90.
90 only.
90.
Hectic.
Yeah, the Pretoria bar, I think, can only accommodate like 40 pupils. Same as Polokwane. The other bars, Northwest, can be 15, Cape Town can be 20.
Hectic.
Yeah, so getting in.
You guys are gatekeeping the profession.
We imagine if we had a lot of advocates. I mean, there would be no work for us then. So you apply.
Okay.
Apply, and I think the thing that will get you, standing out of everyone else is during the interview. But the interview is simple.
Okay.
It's no technical questions, questions that are gonna get you thinking. They want to get an idea of the type of person you are, their personality, how you answer to questions. Because I remember with me, during my interviews, they asked me, but say you don't have any experience. And then I just told them that, no, guys, but if you think about it, the requirements for me to become an advocate, it's an LLB degree. No post experience from obtaining my LLB. So the only requirement that I need is my LLB degree to become an advocate. So it wouldn't make sense for me to go and do my articles for 2 years, get admitted, only to apply here while I can be using that 2 years
to actually do
pupilage and actually have a 1 year experience as opposed to someone who's going through that route. And then they're like, okay, but if you think about it, he's technically right. But most bars like people that are experienced, because now when you get in, you already know, you're familiar with the court processes. You had a bit of litigation in the match court, so they want people that are gonna hit the ground running. So if you look at it, university students are probably like two in during our year we had like 2 graduates who went straight from university to the bar. And then if you look at, so they're trying to balance the numbers. So okay, professionals, people with LLB degrees but not practicing, and then graduates, they're trying to balance it. But then for you to make it in, you have to really convince them why they must pick you out of 100 applications that came in and 100 people that they're gonna interview. So you need to really stand out during your interview. So they can, because the first time I applied in Joburg and Pretoria, I got rejected.
Okay. So how does the application process look like? Is it like hectic questions, a lot of motivating, and where do you guys get the application forms? Is it on a website?
You get the application forms on the website, and then straightforward questions like why do you want to be an advocate?
Okay.
Maybe you get like 3 referrals from people that are going to say good things about you, and I think one thing that stands out, I'm not sure, but then I think what stands out is during the interview.
Okay.
Because you can have good marks, you can be a cum laude student, you can be a person who was an admitted attendee, but then when they interview you, they get a feel that you're gonna struggle in the bar, because trust me, when you're actually in the bar, you actually now get to face reality where you're like, oh damn, now I get to see what they were talking about when they said getting through pupilage is tough. But then you get the forms online, you apply, they have a list of attachments that you need to attach, and then you send application. You're gonna be called for interview. Go to the interview, and then when you're selected, they're gonna send you an email that you have been accepted. And then January, I know in Pretoria we started early. I don't know if this is still the case. On the 3rd of January, when you're still dusting off the fireworks on your body, you're already starting your pupilage program.
Okay.
Yeah.
So during Pupilage, are you then shadowing, or rather, do you even get paid at that moment? Are you following a senior advocate? What's the process like?
So you get allocated a mentor.
Okay.
Who's going to be supervising you throughout your pupilage program. And then your mentor. So your mentor can. So for mentors, they kind of have like a PA.
Okay.
That they're teaching, but then they get some mentors or just give you the work and say, like, do it. So when you work well with the mentors, they're able to refer you to other guys and be like, no, man, I've got a pupil who's good at drafting, who's good at labor, who's good at this, who's good at that. And then that kind of helps you. Again, when you're done with the program, they know that, we know that guy. We worked with him when he was a pupil and was good. And they're able to rope you on at other matters, you know. So you get allocated a mentor who's going to be signing your monthly certificates. Say, okay, what did you do for this month?
Okay.
Yeah,
That's intense.
I attended court. I had these draftings. And then, I was absent an X amount of days. And then you're meant to sign monthly. And then you submit it, show. Because you'll be given a list. I'm not going to talk about the Pretoria bar. You're going to be given a list of draftings. So drafting meaning if they'll tell you, we need you to draft 4 POCs, 3 interpleaders, 3 urgent application, 3 opposing application, SCA application, leave to appeal, all sorts of draftings. They give a list. So you have to draft all of them. And it sounds easy to say, okay, I can draft all of these things.
Definitely not easy because these are real life situations,
Yes,
right?
So no. They give you matters that they did, so they can just say, look at a file. Like now, I can give someone a file and say, no, draw me a plea.
On a file that you had already done.
Yeah, it's already done.
Okay.
Because it's for them to actually have a feel, and for them to actually guide them on either the mistakes that I've done or how I got it right.
Okay.
Yeah, so they do that, and then once I'm happy with the drafting, I sign. The draftings, the person that gave you the drafting will have to sign. To say, okay, I've seen the work. I've seen the work. I'm happy.
Okay.
So if you're not done with your draftings, when towards the end of the program, they can still say, no, you haven't met the requirements of completing.
So you must repeat.
No.
You fail.
You have to complete the draftings.
Okay.
So if let's say you're left with 10 or 15 draftings, you have to get them all done. And then they'll have to approve and say, okay, you're happy with your draftings. And then they can only give you a letter of completion.
No, okay. Are there people that fail Pupilage? Is it something that you can fail? Or
You can fail Pupilage. There's people that fail Pupilage.
Okay.
I think during my year, there were people that were repeating and they made it. And so you can fail Pupilage. And the sad thing is that, to answer your question, you do get paid, but I don't know if it's still Saseta, because during our year it was Saseta.
it's like a stipend.
Yes,
sort of.
stipend. So they just give you like a bit of cash for you to,
What does a bit of cash look like?
it's not a secret. They were giving us 7,000.
As an advocate, because I feel like that's a lot of work. Okay. Well, okay, you're still learning, but okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm honestly confused and still shocked why advocates don't get paid. I mean,
Yeah, 'cause it's very similar
to think about it. I mean, for us, I understand that you're not really like engaged in real matters, and you're not gonna be doing anything that's going to be, you're not gonna go to court and argue someone else's matter. You're basically learning. So why pay someone for learning?
Yeah.
So, but they give you something to,
To sustain yourself.
to sustain yourself. Yeah.
And how were the advocacy board exams? Are they? No, it's not board. It's bar exams, ne?
Bar exams.
Yes. Are they easy? Are they? How many are they?
So we write 5. But then if you graduated before 2018, I think you don't have to write LPC. So it's 5. So it's actually 10.
Okay.
10 of the same, like 5 the GCB exams and 5 LPC.
Okay.
And the other 5 LPC, still a mix of other fields of the law that are not necessarily included in the bar exams.
Okay.
So we basically write 10 exams if you have to include LPC. So if you admitted, if you're an admitted attorney, you don't have to write the LPC exams.
Oh, okay. So if you're an admitted attorney, you only write 5.
You can write 5.
Okay.
So if you're not admitted, you're gonna write 10.
Okay.
Yeah, so the exams are a bit tricky, not difficult. It's one of those questions where you know the answer, you don't know the answer.
Okay.
So there's no 50-50 type of answer. So if you have to serve a notice of intention to defend, you have to serve it. If you don't know that part, then
You don't know
you
that
don't know
part.
it.
Sure.
So if you say you serve them a notice of bar, then you obviously got it wrong. So it's those type of questions where you need
It's
to
straightforward. It's black or white.
yeah,
It's
black or
never
white.
in between.
Yeah, you can never work your way out of because
You can't BS your way through
people
stuff.
that mark those things are judges and senior counsel. So when they mark this thing, they expect to see something on your paper. So you trying to work your way out of the getting the answer right won't really help you.
No, I hear you. Do you guys make enough? Well, I can't even say Vali Patela Sharp because you're technically a business.
We make enough.
What does enough look like? As a first year advocate, what could you possibly be looking at? And if not looking at it from a busy perspective, like if it's just a slow month or a normal month or a normal year.
You know, we all have our different journeys in this life, and my journey might be different compared to someone else. Someone else's journey might be better than mine. So, if I have to generalize everything and say, as a first year advocate, you can't make enough. You can make if ranging between 40 to 60,000
A month?
a month.
Okay, that's
And you
decent.
can make that. There are guys that make over 100,000 a month as the first years. There are others that make barely make it to 30. But it's if you have to average it, you can definitely make a lot of money.
Okay.
It's just about who you know, because again, it's a business.
Yeah,
It's a
because I was about
business.
to ask, how do you then also secure your briefings as a new person?
It's a business. I mean, when you're an advocate, for me personally, I can't tell you how I'm doing it.
But you're just doing it.
I'm just doing it, and every morning I wake up and I thank God for the blessings and everything that I'm getting, because I can't really explain to people how I'm doing it. So I'm not one person. I mean, if you check all my social medias, you'll never find anything law related, because
Yes.
I separate.
Business and pleasure.
No, I don't make my profession my whole brand.
Okay, true. I
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
ya.
So there are people that when you go through their social media accounts,
Yeah, this is a lawyer.
So for me, I kind of separate. So I don't know how I'm doing it. But then if I had to answer that question, you can make a lot of money as an advocate. It just depends on how you do it. Because
So basically, networking is a very big component.
networking and getting the orders, because I mean, for an attorney, you want to get an order for your client, because getting an order for your client means the client's gonna come back and refer more,
Okay.
and then means more referrals for you, more money for me.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily about the money part, because people get it twisted when they think about the money part and they want to go through the program, and now they are admitted advocates and they're not making the money, and then now they're gonna say, oh, but they said we're gonna make money.
But it's like getting the job done well, getting the orders and accidentally executing your job,
Yes.
and making sure that the attorney as your client is happy, and then the attorney knows that their client is happy, then everybody's happy, they come back to you.
Because if I get an order for you, you're most likely to refer me to someone else who needs an advocate. So I worked with this guy. He's actually new in the game, affordable, and can get the job done. Yeah, so the chance of you referring me to other attorneys are very high than if you can tell. And again, losing, there's nothing wrong with losing. People think that when you lose a matter, you don't know what you're doing. Because sometimes the matter is just not good for you.
Yeah.
Or your case is not that good. And if you lose, it's not something to look. Because I lost a couple of matters myself.
Countless, or can you count them?
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Three out of all the matters that I've
Okay.
done. But then that's a learning curve.
Yeah.
'Cause sometimes when you go through that, you doesn't beat yourself. Because I'm obsessed with winning. One thing about it, I'm obsessed with winning.
You
and
love winning.
I love winning. So losing it just kind of breaks me. But then I kind of pick myself up and say, move on to the next one, because you can't sulk all day and and cry about it.
I've heard in the streets that being an advocate is actually also an expensive profession. How true is that? Are your fees high? Like your is it association fees, renting an office and all of that? Is that expensive, or you can decide where you want to work from?
No, it's actually expensive because if I remember the bar, you want to belong to a certain group. So now I pay chamber fees, pay the bar fees, and I think LPC as well. And some because we are constantly in and out of court, even the attire has to like the dust coat and mustn't look all worn up, and you have to. And
You
also
look presentable.
and also appearance. I mean, when you see your advocate walking towards you, must be confident that I'm getting the order. You don't want to see someone who's like,
What's going on there?
what's going on? But,
Yeah.
but then it is because if you can't pay your bar fees or your chamber fees, then you if you remember the bar, it's always advisable to be part of a group. 'Cause that kind of gives you a kickstart, because now when people are checking on the group, they always check the most junior people, and then you are most likely to get briefs. But it's not a prerequisite for you to be a member of a
Okay.
group. You can go to Pavasa or go join other groups that are not part of
No, that's brilliant. And then how does your day look like as an advocate?
I gotta spend my day today. Okay, from last week it was hectic. So
Okay.
this week I'm taking it easy. So unless I have a matter that I need to get all the draftings on everything and the draftings, all the draftings sent out. Yeah, I can work from home. Can wake up in the morning, decide, okay, today I want to go to chambers. Can wake up in the morning and say, okay, like today I woke up in the morning, went to the gym, came back, 10 o'clock I was, 11 o'clock I was working until I came here. And then in between I can decide, okay, I want to go to the office, I can. So it just...
It varies. So
Yeah.
if a person in 20 seconds, if a person says, what does an advocate do? What would you say you do?
We do a lot of drafting and arguing.
Okay. So you argue and draft a lot.
Yes, draft a lot.
Okay.
Because whatever you draft is what you're going to argue in court. So we
Okay.
do a lot of drafting and arguing.
And a lot of research, I presume.
Yeah, because when you do your draftings, you would have researched, and you need to thoroughly research. Because if you're not familiar with the latest case law that comes with backing up your case, someone can always say, but there's a precedent that came out. So research is most important.
Okay.
Most important, because
Okay.
if your research is bad, then your case is as
Your
bad
argument is going to be
it's
bad.
as bad as your research.
Okay. Last two questions. One, you said you're much of a reader. Top three books to recommend to people.
Okay, I collect books.
Okay.
Not much of a reader.
You just collect.
I like the idea of collecting books. I
Okay.
collect a lot of books. But then the ones that I would recommend is the War in Africa.
Okay.
I forgot the authors.
It's fine. War in Africa.
And Musanekas Momoa.
Okay.
And shucks, I'm not trying to get all the serious books. I'm trying to think of a fiction book that I can think of. I think the book that I actually enjoyed more was Long Walk to Freedom.
Oh, Long Walk to Freedom.
I enjoyed that
I
book.
read it, but I don't remember the feel that I got. Maybe I should reread it. I read it a long time ago.
I'm more of your,
Political books.
political books,
Bibliographies. Biographies.
Yeah, biography. Sorry. Why did I see this thing of having to draft a lot? Yeah, that.
Okay. Thank you so much for honoring my invite. Time went by so fast.
Are we done?
Yeah, an hour, like
Shucks.
literally. So, in closing, what is this season of your life, and what would you say to a person that is searching for their next opportunity?
I think the most important thing that one must do into trying to better their lives is knowing exactly what is it that you want to do with whatever qualification. Because there's nothing worse than having an idea that you're gonna do something that's gonna make you money and doesn't make you money.
Okay. Yeah. Valid. I feel you.
That's an epic failure. You must always ask yourself, why do I want to become a lawyer? Take away the money part. The money will follow. My uncle always says money will follow if you have the right reasons why you want to do something. You must always put yourself in a position that if I start this, I'm not stopping. And if I stop, then it means I've got nowhere to go. It means I'm going to be doing something that I don't like. So you must always invest in doing a proper research if you have to do research and proper understanding on why you want to do what you want to do.
Okay.
It might be studying a business, might be picking a career or anything else. Because there's nothing worse than having an idea of what you want to do with something and it doesn't work out.
Okay.
That's an epic failure.
Okay. Thank you so much. And this is, what season of your life is this, if you were to name it?
How?
Are you learning? Are you growing? Are you evolving? Are you winning?
I think I'm learning, Because for me, learning has never really stopped for me.
Okay, so it's a learning season.
It's a learning season, and I think even next year I'll still be learning.
Okay, to everybody at home, thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope now you know that instead of becoming an attorney, you can always be an advocate. But before you even decide what you want to do, always remember to have the right reasons. Always ask yourself why. And in as much as money is important, don't let it be at the top of your list. Money always follows mastery. Money always follows excellent work, showing up, and dedication. Do not forget to be love and light. Happy Employment Wednesdays. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Thank you.